mouthpiece which leads right up to the wharenui or the meeting. Now this is where the visitors will be standing. The tangata whenua or the hosts will be standing in front of their house. Then what they will do is send a warrior down. He will come forward with a gift. He will place it just in front of the visitors, and then he will back off and demonstrate some of his weaponry moves. Now if your chief has come in peace, what he would do is move forward, pick up the gift, but he must walk backwards, never turn his back to the warrior, because this is an insult. Now if that happens, the warrior has every right to strike him with the weapon. But if that doesn't take place, then what will happen after that is your chief will come back here, and then the tangata whenua or the hosts will bring their chieftainess or their woman forward, who will do a karanga or a cry of welcome to say the name of their house, the name of their people, and that you are most welcome to come inside. At the same time, a woman from your side will also do a karanga or a cry, but she will let the hosts know who you are, where you're from, and what your intentions are. Then you will proceed into the house where formalities between the chiefs will take place. Now once that has ended, then you end it with a hongi, which is simply a light pressing of the nose. This signifies two life forces come together as one. Was named after this particular duck. Now the bridge that we are crossing, ladies and gentlemen, is an expansion bridge. So the creaks that you sort of hear now and then as we're crossing the bridge, it's not that we are overweight, that is how the bridge is designed to withstand any weather conditions as well as any little earthquake tremors that go on within the geothermal valley. Now when we are fully loaded, we do weigh up to 5 tonnes. 500 different flora and fauna. Now 75% of the vegetation in this geothermal valley is of the manuka or kanuka, or known as the tea tree. Now the manuka tree does have medicinal purposes, or when we do get past or come near one, ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is just squeeze the leaves and you will smell the oil, that scent that it lets off. Now we are coming up to Tako Hill, and when we get to a clearing, which I'll point out, to the left of the vehicle is another mineral pool called Ngārara Tuatara. Now that pool there is at 100 degrees Celsius, and it stays at that temperature consistently. It also boils for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, and has been since the arrival of our people. So if we just look down to the left, you would see the steam rising from our mineral pool. Now during the day, we do have some staff members who go down there to cook corn just for the tourists who want to taste what it's like from our pools. Now we have just left the Waka Express and joined onto the pedestrian walkway. So the horn is just to let the pedestrians know that we are coming around the corner. Now to the right of the vehicle you will see a green fence with electric wiring. No, this is not our form of Jurassic Park, but our outdoor kiwi breeding area, where we are trying to attempt to breed the kiwi bird in its natural environment. Now throughout New Zealand there are at least 50,000 kiwi birds in the wild, and it is an endangered species. Now when we come around the corner to the right of the vehicle, if we look up, we did have a fire in our valley over 2 years ago, which was deliberately lit by a cigarette butt. We actually caught the person who did it. He did get prosecuted for it, but also at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, we thank him for it, because now we can see a lot of geysers, steam vents and thermals where through the vegetation before the fire we could not see them. Now the geyser with the steam coming out of it, that is called Waikete. Now that geyser there was 1968 was the last time this geyser erupted. Now when it did erupt, there's a street called Reynolds Street in town. When this geyser did go up in eruption, it could be seen right from the end of Reynolds Street leading right up to this geyser terraced here. Now ladies and gentlemen, we will be stopping at some mud pools along here, so you can get the chance to take some photos if you'd like. It eventually seeps through to the rock, and then the steam forces its way to the surface, as you can see the mud jumping up and down. Now there is a local hospital here in the city that comes here to extract the mud. They mix it with mineral water and they make their mud baths and mud packs from our mud, because the patients that attend this hospital have rheumatoid or arthritis. Now it's not a cure, it's more of a relief. This kaolin mineral here is very pure, so if we were to do pottery with this, it'll definitely crack under the heat from the furnace.
Oh, well now, what with the shower, but in addition to the mud, we were wrapped and all of these were like
So that we don't get doused by all the water that comes from our geyser. Now the temperature of our geyser is approximately 95 to 98 degrees Celsius, or 201 to 203 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, toot toot! Oh, there's the Prince of Wales. That is the Prince of Wales that is playing for us at the moment. Now that is the indicator to let us know.
There she goes, you got it. Prince of Wales. I could feel something.
Okay, the next one, so you can get a nice photo of our geyser terraced. Now, the grey and the white that you see, they erupt. Now, this geyser terraced here is over 25,000 years old, and it grows at the rate of the mineral deposited onto the geyser terrace at least 1 inch every 25 years. Now the yellow colouring that you see is the sulphur crystals itself. So that hour and other days maybe just the once. Now that is the local stream that is running below us on this bridge, where we can catch the trout and the freshwater crayfish. Like I mentioned, as you can see the many hot springs on either side of the stream, where you can transfer your catch into them, and you don't have to worry about putting on a stove or going to a McDonald's. Village, which is called the Little Waka Village, which is just on the other side of this ridge. Now the people in that village do live around a lot of many hot springs and pools, and they cook from them even today for their meals, as well as bathe from these pools too. And then after they had carved out the vessel, they had reduced it down to 62 feet. Now this particular vessel here can seat up to 22 to 23 warriors. There is another walk-in Antennax, or the New Zealand flags, or we call it harakiri. There are 54 varieties in New Zealand, but we only use 4 of those varieties. Because of a certain fibre we abstract from the plant. Now to make the dancing skirt, what you do is pinch the rib and pinch the end, so that you get 2 even blades, because they are made in pairs. Now they are made in pairs so they can get the fullness of the skirt, as well as if we're entertaining, if one falls off, we won't be exposed. We've got a replacement. Okay, then now, with the traditional tool, the mussel shell here, we actually use this part of the shell to cut right through. The next traditional tool, the Stanley knife. I like the Stanley knife. What we do is you just cut right through like so, disregard the Now this plant has a shiny side and a dull side. Now with the dull side is what we score into. Just get our knife, just put it across, not to cut too deep, because we'll cut right through, but deep enough so that we can expose the fibre. What we do with this part of the shell, we place it on the shiny side where we marked, we get our thumb and we pull. We place place it under there and just run the shell right down. Remove the backing and then remove the yellow film. Also, now that is what we make our fishing lines and our nets and ropes from. So I just like to hang that around there so everybody can get a feel. Like I mentioned earlier, they do come in pairs. So with, not with that one, with this one, I will actually do exactly the same as that, but I will mark the pattern into this, the plant itself. What we do is definitely just bend them back like so that when I do this part here, it makes it a lot easier for me just to run the shell down. Now, I make it look so easy, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll tell you, it took me at least 3 weeks to master this. And the amount of times I got a telling off from my grandmother because I wasn't doing it right and doing it all wrong. And with this part here, just scrape it out like so. Remove the waxy film. And there we have our pattern. Like so. Then we just remove the back. She saw me doing this. I'll definitely get a growling on. Now, there you go, you have it. Now, with our other piece there, if I could just have that other piece there. Okay. Now, like I said, they do get joined together. This one also will have the pattern in it as well. Now, what will happen is you get them back to back, place them together, and then you split the fibres in half. Now, we still do this technique even today, and this is what your admissions had paid for as well, is to see my leg. Then we turn around, place the fibre up against the leg, roll it down the leg, and then roll it down the leg, and then crimp back up. It'll entwine together like so. Now we keep doing this until we get enough length in the fibre until they both join like so. Now for a 28 centimetre waistline, you would need at least 240 of these strands. For the more proportioned person, you just have to keep scraping. Okay? Now, after you've got your 240 pieces, you take them down to the hot springs, place it in the hot springs for 5 minutes and pull it out. Now in 12 hours time, it'll go from this flat and this colour, green colour, to naturally curl into this shape and the white. Now after that, you proceed by making the skirt. Now this becomes the waistband, like so. Then you go through 2 dyeing stages. The first dyeing stage is the leaves and the bark of the manuka or kanuka tree, or known as the tea tree. You place the skirt in for half an hour, pull it out, and it will have the brown staining on the fibre. Now this is just a fixing agent. Then you go through the last dyeing stage, which is called peat, or the vegetation of the mud swamp, or we call it paru. Place the skirt in for 48 hours, pull it out, wash it down with cold running water, and the whole pattern is exposed. Now from this stage to this stage will take approximately 3 to 4 weeks. And after you've completed making this, ladies and gentlemen, it's the most uncomfortable garment you could ever wear.
From Rotorua here, built by Lakeland Steel Products. It's approximately 22 metres long and 8.5 metres wide, powered by a 6-cylinder.
Put your head down too.
It is a paddle steamer.
park is natural spring water. You might be able to see the fish over there. They're going clockwise around the top of the spring. You can't actually see the water coming up, but every day about 1 million gallons comes up from under the ground.
Really?
Yeah. And the water you see now is rainwater that's fallen about 70 years before. So the water's very pure. You can drink it if you like. Might taste a bit fishy and ducky over the edge here. But it is very, very pure. And it comes up at about 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Where are you all from?
All over the States.
All over the state, okay, yeah. Okay, 53 degrees Fahrenheit. Didn't know whether you had Fahrenheit or Celsius. The rainbow, but they came from California. If anyone here is from California?
Oh, yeah.
Couple? Yeah. You know Sonoma Creek? In Sonoma County?
Sonoma County, but I don't know the creek.
There is a creek there, well apparently, so the trout tell us. And they were introduced from there back in 1883. So over 100 years ago. But the very first trout introduced here were the brown trout that came from Europe. They tend to grow a bit bigger than the rainbows, but most people prefer the rainbows for eating. New Zealand is relatively unique that trout haven't been commercialised in New Zealand. So you can't buy or sell trout here. You can eat them okay, you've just got to go and catch them yourself. They are very cannibalistic. So they will gradually decrease. They are very lucky though, because in the wild the survival rate is less than 1%. They reckon that only 5 out of every 1,000 trout that hatch will reach maturity, so 0.5% survival rate. Every year though they do lay thousands of eggs, just continue to go around. This is our California redwood, and they were introduced, well they were first brought over to New Zealand last century, but they do grow 3 or 4 times quicker here than they do in California. Not just the redwood, but most introduced trees grow very quickly over here. All of the tall trees in the park are the redwood, and this year they're 71 years old, so that's why we've left them in the park, just so people can see how quickly introduced trees do grow. Well, we've got to be a bit careful in this area here, because under the ground the water table isn't very deep down, so the roots don't go very deep, so in a storm they might get blown over. The weather forecast for today is pretty good though. Different languages. People speaking Spanish. New Zealand you're quite safe though, because they are one of our parrots. You don't see a lot of these parrots up in the bush. They tend to stick to the canopy of the forest, but they are very intelligent like most parrots are. They often imitate other birds. Down below us, he's just woken up like me, is the weka. He's a brown flightless bird, you might see him down there. He's a member of the rail family. Sometimes people confuse them with the kiwi.
Yeah, that's like one.
If you saw one side by side, they do look a bit different, but otherwise, yeah, they can be quite similar. In New Zealand used to look around to your left.
It's showing off.
Some of you have mentioned the kia. This is the kia. They're probably New Zealand's second most famous bird behind the kiwi. And the reason they are well known is USA. What about New Zealand wood pigeon, the kiddo? Over to your left again. An experience. This is actually pig food, but they like it too. The reason I was a bit slow coming to meet, yeah, just keep it flat. Yeah, I've never seen them bite anyone, but it's always the first time. And just before I came to meet you at the entrance, and they're farmed for their meat, their hide, and their antlers, the velvet on their antlers. So New Zealand apparently is the largest venison exporter in the world now. So you may have seen a few deer farms around. But over the back we've got the ostrich. I think in the States they also farm the rhea, which is another same family as the emu. But the emu are farmed for their meat, their feathers and their oil. Apparently emu oil is very good for rheumatism and things like that. You're getting greedy, aren't you? Come. Okay, this is our main observatory. And in here we do have 4 different types of trout. But when we first built this underwater viewer, we tried to make sure the glass didn't magnify them. So if I put my hand in here, the trout should be about life size. So they won't bite my fingers. When you look at the trout from the top, they look a bit smaller. It's just the oval shape of their body. But the four types of trout in here, the very first ones are the rainbows from California. In the aviary, this is the same variety of eel. Here's the long finned eel. And this one here is a male. The male's a little bit smaller than the female. See, one day I came down here and all the tourists were standing up the top. I didn't know what was wrong until I came down here and the eel was on the floor. Pigs. These ones are piglets, born on the 22nd of December. I'll try and show you what a fully grown one looks like. Come on.
It's
like
too
me this
early.
morning.
Too early.
Come on. But the Captain Cook pig was introduced by Captain Cook, as the name suggests, back in 1773. Come on. Come on. This is a big mama. The father of the piglets, he's got big tusks on him, but we have to move the father out when they're born. Sorry, I've teased you with empty bags.
Oh, that's not.
But yeah, the father will eat the piglets when they're born, so we have to take them out. I'll bring you something later. But in the New Zealand bush, there are thousands of these, and like the deer you saw before, you can hunt them all year round because they are prolific breeders. They can have 3 or 4 litters each year, so they can have about 40 or 50 piglets each year.
Wow.
And, they can weigh up to about 400 pounds, and people who hunt them usually hunt them for eating. Unlike a lot of countries, the wild pigs are relatively disease-free. There's some bang up the top here. That's that stag I took out of the bottom. Hopefully he's not going to break out. I'll go and check on him later. There's a different family about reptiles. You probably know there are 4 orders of reptile in the world. The very first one they call the snakes and lizards. Plenty of them around. The second one are the crocodilians. The third one are the turtles. And the fourth one are called the sphenodons. You've probably never heard of the sphenodons because he's the last remaining one. So he has no living relatives in the world.
How sad.
Yeah, they're a bit lonely. But the reason they've survived all these years in New Zealand is again because of the lack of mammals. Yeah, but now they are endangered. But they do date back to the Triassic period, which was before the Jurassic period, 225 million years ago.
Do you have spikes on his back?
They do, yeah. They are called a tuatara, which translates out to spiny back. So yeah, that's how they got their name. But the very young, if you see a newly born one, they are quite unique that they've got 3 eyes. When they grow older like this one, they grow a membrane over the top of it.
Really?
But these ones are older, so you won't actually see it. But
Is it just one in there?
there are 4 of them in there. They're probably hiding on the rock. A little bit chilly this morning, so they're probably still in their beds under there, all tucked in and everything.
And what do they eat?
It is the largest egg in the world in comparison to the mother's body size. It's like one of you ladies having a 40-pound baby. But in New Zealand, it's all equal rights. The male on the left does all the incubation of the egg. Also, kiwi bones are quite unique. You may know that usually birds have air sacs in their bones. But with the kiwi, they're like humans, they've got marrow inside their bones.
We use different whistle and verbal commands for these 2 dogs, a lot different to those we use with the hunter. Now, breed of the strong eye-hitting dog, being bred to suit New Zealand's farming conditions. We've crossbred them from the border collie. We cross them with breeds such as the terrier or the pointer. As for Blue, he's been crossed with a little bit of blue heeler. They can see that gate's open, time to get the sheep into the pen. We need to get them back under control. These 2 dogs work very well together as a team. You can see that Spy she'll position herself on the opposite Blue each time. Blue's starting to make a little bit of noise out there. It means it's playtime. You like to play with the sheep. It is important to keep the sheep calm, but we also need to try and keep the dogs calm. Blue's a little bit overexcited today. But it's looking good. Well, as you can see, it can be a lot of hard work, a lot of fun at the same time.
Straight away. One more will do. So all we do is get the gun in the mouth, squeeze the trigger. As you can see though, It's a very easy job, isn't it? Very easy if you've only got 4 sheep. Now, if I had 4,000 sheep down here, well, you can imagine I'm going to be stuck in this heat all day long. Now, the New Zealand farmer, they've actually found their drench very effective. So, is anybody out there not feeling too well? Got the sore tummy? Like to come on out? Young lady down here? No, I don't think it'd be too good for you, would it? Right, we'll just put the drench away. I'll find a nice friendly sheep and explain a few more things about them. Are you nice and friendly, are you? Jump up! Ooh, that's the good. And take a rest there on the rails. Now, when you're driving around New Zealand, somewhere on that air, let's say the farmers can tell their sheep to their neighbour's sheep. Now, we're pretty lucky here. Amanda, she lives just next door to us, and she walks through the paddock every day. And she actually has this thing that gate open sometimes. But our neighbour, he's got a little W out in the middle of the ear here. So all we've got to do is line them up a raceway like this, and sort them out any which way we can. Now, the 4 sheep we have in this pen here are rocking sheep. And they make up about 50% of New Zealand sheep industry.
Well, we have many other breeds of sheep. They're all farmed here in New Zealand. Out the back you'll find we have
80. Spy, you can't take those sheep home. Gentlemen up there, yep. You've now got the sheep at the moment for $180 each. At $216. Is this your husband's side? He was pointing at you as well. 4 sheep are yours. Come on down. Take a look. Very well there. Hello. What's your name? Jan. Where are you from? Los Angeles. Now, Jan, are you feeling all right? We'll just put that back down there. Jan, you don't feel these 4 sheep are very friendly. Now, in Los Angeles, I've never been there, but are there lots of sheep? Oh, yeah. These 4 sheep are going to go down over here, right? Now, there's a couple of problems. The first problem is, when you get these 4 sheep back home, have you got lots of grass and
Yeah, the dog would chase them.
the dog chase them as well? That's pretty good there. But the major problem is, Dan.
That's amazing.
How are you going to get your sheep from here all the way back to Los Angeles? Some rugs? No, that's a sad story for the rugs. You've got the whole sheep here, Jan. Now, are you flying home? What airline do you want to be flying back home?
Air New Zealand!
Actually, Air New Zealand's very good. We signed a contract with them last week. Now, they said they're going to take our sheep anywhere in the world, free of charge. Yeah? Yeah, now you have one condition though about carting sheep, is you actually need 4 freight beef suitcases. Yes, you do. Now, Jan, you've got 4 suitcases this week. Almost. You have it, yeah? That's very good. First day after the show, bring your 4 suitcases down here. Amanda and I, open them up. Shut all the clothes out, you don't really get them. Put the sheep inside. Now, Jan, they're too heavy. They weigh 60 kilos each. They really do. You see Amanda over there? She's very smart. Came up with a very good idea. Look what she's done. She's placed some holes there. Yeah, that's how sheep's legs are going. What we do is put the sheep there, and we set that up, hold their heads so they can see where they're going. 2 for you, 2 for the husband over there. And they just put their holes. Very easy. Now, Jan, one more thing.
Yes.
I need some money.
Yeah.
Money.
A piece of pie. We get $206 each. We include GST at 25%, suitcases, plane tickets. We'll put them on special for only $1,400.
1,400.
Thanks. Credit. No money.
We'll stay off the camera. We'll stay off the camera. We'll take the camera. Is it worth 1,400?
No.
We need some more money out of you, actually, Dan. Arms out.